Have you ever stopped to think about why we love being terrified? It seems contradictory, right? We pay a lot for games that make our hearts race, leave us sweating, and sometimes even keep us from sleeping properly. But here's the secret. Horror makes us feel alive in a way few genres can. And if you think 2025 was an intense year for survival horror, get ready, because 2026 promises to be absolutely brutal. Let's get to the video. Pathologic 3. Imagine going back in time, not to fix your life, but to save an entire city from a deadly plague. You are Daniil Denkovsky, a prodigy doctor obsessed with uncovering immortality. You arrive in a remote town on the Russian steppe, searching for a man who never dies. Problem? He's dead, and now a devastating pestilence is sweeping the place. Here's the brutal twist of the game. You have 12 days to set everything right, but you can travel back in time whenever you make a mistake. You know that saying? You learn by failing? Well, here you will fail a lot. Each patient is a psychological puzzle. They lie, hide symptoms, and conceal the truth. You must diagnose accurately while making authoritarian decisions. Impose forced quarantines, seize medicines, suppress uprisings. The catch? Your sanity goes down the drain. Paranoia, apathy, and mania directly affect how you interpret reality. A psychological survival horror where the true enemy may be your own mind. Resident Evil Requiem. Capcom is bringing Raccoon City back, but this time with a completely different approach. You control Grace Ashcroft, an FBI analyst haunted by her mother's death, investigating alone in an abandoned hotel in the city that was bombed by the government in 1998. The brutal twist here is this. You can freely switch between first and third-person perspectives during gameplay. Want that visceral immersion while exploring dark corridors? First person. Prefer a tactical view during combat? Third person. It's classic survival horror with resource management, puzzles, and that trademark franchise tension, but with full freedom to choose how you face the horrors. The combination of a complex protagonist, a return to Raccoon City, and this perspective flexibility makes Requiem one of the most interesting survival horror bets for 2026. Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly Remake. Arriving in March 2026 to revive one of the scariest Japanese survival horrors in history. Koei Tecmo rebuilt everything from the ground up. Graphics, audio, controls. The premise remains disturbing. Two twin sisters lost in an abandoned village, facing vengeful spirits using only the camera obscura, a camera that captures and seals supernatural entities. It sounds simple, but the tension of photographing ghosts while they pursue you is brutal. The standout here is the atmosphere. With 3D audio, you feel the presence of spirits moving all around you. The village has ultra-realistic textures and lighting and shadow work that make everything more oppressive. They added a new mechanic, holding your sister Mayu's hand, reinforcing the bond between them during the terror. Camera combat now includes zoom, special filters, and new abilities. Each filter works differently against specific types of ghosts. If you enjoy psychological, atmospheric horror, this one promises to be a benchmark. Clive Barker's Hellraiser Revival. This might be the horror game that finally does justice to the film franchise. Developed by Saber Interactive, the title puts you in the skin of Aiden, a protagonist who must master the supernatural powers of the Genesis configuration to rescue his girlfriend from the clutches of the Infernal Labyrinth. The standout here is the combination of mechanics. You use both demonic abilities from the puzzle box and conventional weaponry to face cultists and the Cenobites themselves. Combat explores that classic Hellraiser duality of pain and pleasure, making each confrontation visceral and disturbing. The atmosphere promises to be oppressive, with claustrophobic level design and encounters with Pinhead that should test your nerves. For those tired of generic survival horror, Revival offers an original narrative proposal that expands the mythology without disrespecting the source material. The question remains whether Saber will be able to balance psychological terror with frenetic action. Cthulhu, the Cosmic Abyss. Developer Big Bad Wolf is about to deliver something truly unsettling. A mining station disappears into the depths of the Pacific in 2053, and you take on the role of Noah, an investigator from Ansile, a secret Interpol division that specializes in the occult. The twist here is the exploration of Riley, the legendary submerged Lovecraftian city with cyclopic proportions that defy physics. Accompanied by Key, your companion AI, you unravel mysteries while your sanity progressively collapses under Cthulhu's influence. Built with Unreal Engine 5, the game promises hallucinatory environments and a branching narrative where your choices shape Noah's fate. The concept blends first-person investigation with genuine cosmic horror. The deeper you go, the more your mind succumbs. Complex puzzles, secret passages, and multiple solution routes elevate the experience beyond a simple walking simulator. Coming in April 2026, it could be the definitive Lovecraftian experience fans of the genre have been waiting for. DreadOut 3. It dives deep into Indonesian folklore in a way few horror games dare. Digital Happiness is bringing Linda back as the Guardian of Darkness on an interdimensional journey to stop a mysterious force that threatens to destroy the balance between light and dark. The standout here is the iris phone mechanic, which switches between first and third person, revealing invisible horrors through the phone camera. You'll move between the world of the living and the dead while cataloging ghosts in the Ghostpedia app, uncovering authentic Asian urban legends. The game leans on non-linear exploration across rural Indonesian environments, with malevolent spirits that literally devour your soul progressively. There's even a wardrobe system tied to ancestral invocation rituals. For fans of psychological horror with a strong cultural identity, DreadOut 3 promises to expand the cult universe of the original franchise. Slated for 2026, it could be the unique survival horror the genre has been missing. Directive 8020. Supermassive Games returns full force in 2026 after Undawn and Query. This time, the move is into deep space with horror and science fiction mixed. The premise is heavy. Earth is dying, and humanity bets everything on Taos 85, a planet 12 light-years away. When the ship Cassiopeia crashes there, the crew discovers something waiting for them, and it's not friendly. The brutal twist here is this: you face an alien that perfectly mimics its prey. Imagine the paranoia of not knowing who in your crew is still human. Lashana Lynch from the film Bob Marley One Love leads as Astronaut Young. The choice system received an interesting upgrade with a tree of decisive moments, allowing you to undo decisions and explore multiple paths. Gameplay mixes stealth, combat with improvised weapons, and that constant tension of being hunted through the ship's dark corridors. Jurassic Park Survival. Imagine being stranded on Isla Nublar one day after everyone else evacuated. Developer Saber Interactive puts you exactly in that situation. You play Dr. Maya Joshi, an engine scientist who was left behind and must survive the deadly threats roaming the park. The standout here is the dinosaurs' unique adaptive behaviors. Every encounter will be unpredictable and intense. It's not just about running and shooting. You'll need to use stealth, distraction, and plenty of cleverness to escape the franchise's iconic predators. The exploration promises to be amazing, taking you through the park's giant gates, the visitor center, and other emblematic Isla Nublar locations. The environment is filled with reactive wildlife and unexpected threats. For fans of survival horror and the Jurassic Park franchise, this has everything to be a memorable first-person experience. Reanimal. Tarsier Studios is back, and this time they've delivered something even more disturbing than Little Nightmares. The studio that mastered psychological horror is now betting on cooperative play, placing two orphan siblings on a hellish island to rescue missing friends. The standout here is the shared camera that intensifies the claustrophobia, working both in solo play and online co-op. The horror with hope approach is interesting, mixing a dense atmosphere with a search for redemption, steering away from gratuitous scares. Visually, it keeps Tarsier's unique identity: fragile children against sinister monsters inspired by past traumas. The fragmented world promises to reveal stories in every corner explored, whether at sea or on land. For fans of the previous franchise, Reanimal seems to expand the formula without losing its essence. The cooperative mechanic might be the missing element that makes the experience even more immersive and harrowing. The Occultist. This could be the most immersive horror experience of 2026. Developed by Dalawar, the game puts you in the shoes of Alan Rebels, a paranormal investigator exploring the cursed island of Godstone in search of his father. The standout here is the mystical pendulum, your only ally against the entities that inhabit the island. This object has 5 unique mechanics that let you interact with the environment in ways never seen before in the genre. No direct combat. Here you must rely on stealth and intelligence to survive the vengeful spirits that haunt the deserted streets. The island hides secrets of a macabre cult active until 1950. And next-generation graphics promise to deliver a suffocating atmosphere. Puzzles range from straightforward riddles to complex occult challenges. With an original score by Pepe Herrera and a focus on personal narrative, the Occultist seems to bring that perfect blend of tension, exploration, and psychological horror the genre has been missing.
Ill. Brace yourself. This one will mess with your sanity in ways you can't imagine. Developed by Team Clout, the same crew who worked on Longlegs and Until Dawn, Ill is not playing around with horror. You wake up captured in a sinister research stronghold, facing monsters that react terrifyingly intelligently to the environment. The big standout? The dismemberment system is brutal and visceral. Limbs ripped off, bones exposed, all with realistic physics that make every encounter feel unique. Binaural audio lets every scream penetrate your soul. But it's not just brawling. Weapons have real weight, can jam, and managing your inventory is a matter of life or death. An item crafted at the right moment can turn the tide of battle. The physics aren't just cosmetic. They solve puzzles and make the world an active part of the gameplay. For survival horror veterans looking for something that truly tests their nerves, Ill promises to be a nightmare in the best way. Halloween. Get ready to relive the terror of Haddonfield. IICrimson is developing Halloween, and this goes beyond just another generic asymmetric game. For the first time, you'll be able to experience the events of the original 1978 film as Michael Myers in an exclusive single-player story mode, something no asymmetric horror game has done before. The standout here is the dynamic NPC system running on Unreal Engine 5. Haddonfield's residents react, call the police, and even fight back when threatened, turning every 1v4 match into something completely unpredictable. As the killer, you command citizens, equip them with improvised weapons, and create escape strategies while Michael relentlessly hunts you down. The cinematic 1970s atmosphere, realistic lighting, and stealth mechanics promise to capture the essence of John Carpenter's classic. For horror fans tired of repetitive asymmetrics, Halloween could be the refresh the genre needs. The Sinking City 2. This could be the definitive Lovecraftian experience horror fans have been waiting for. Developed with Unreal Engine 5, Frogware's game plunges you into a fully flooded 1920s Arkham, where every submerged alley hides something disturbing. What's great here is how the game balances cosmic horror with classic survival horror. You'll face iconic creatures from the Lovecraft universe, Deep Ones, Migo, and Cultists, as well as brand new monsters created specifically to expand the Cthulhu mythos. Inventory management and optional puzzles call back to the genre's classics, while environmental investigations unlock multiple endings. Visually, the game takes full advantage of Unreal Engine 5. Lumen lighting, nanite geometry, and metahuman characters create a suffocating atmosphere. For fans of modern Resident Evil who miss denser psychological horror, this one promises a distinct and compelling proposition. Psycho Dead. Imagine waking up in a secret laboratory full of deformed creatures hunting you. That's the premise of Psycho Dead, arriving in 2026 from Moon Catalyst. The game puts you in control of Elixia, a girl with psychic powers trying to escape this scientific nightmare. What stands out here are the protagonist's psychic abilities. You can unleash telekinetic blasts, make enemies implode, create defensive barriers, and hurl objects at high speed. It's like having superpowers in a pure horror setting. The game mixes classic survival horror elements with freedom of choice, limited resources, backtracking, and puzzles, but you decide whether to confront stalkers with psychic force or evade them stealthily. The sci-fi laboratory promises plenty of open exploration as you uncover the dark secrets behind the experiments. With this combination of supernatural powers and atmospheric horror, Psycho Dead could be a pleasant surprise for genre fans. Projekt Beyond Order. This set in World War II, cooperative FPS promises something few titles in the genre achieve: meaningful progression depth. The standout here is the crafting system integrated into absolutely everything. This isn't decorative crafting you ignore after 2 hours. Every blueprint you find affects your weapons, equipment, and even the customizable base. There are 4 distinct classes with their own skill trees, allowing completely different builds between players. Free roam mode unlocks the island for exploration after missions, turning the game into something beyond linear corridors full of undead. Weapon customization is surprisingly detailed, rivaling pure shooters. For those who miss the golden era of survival co-op games, Projekt Z deserves attention. It's built to work in solo play, but the aim is to shine in 4-player cooperative mode where each class really matters. Sleep Awake. This game throws us into a terrifying premise. In the last city on Earth, sleeping means disappearing forever. Developed by Corey Davis, the mind behind Spec Ops: The Line, and featuring a soundtrack by Robin Fink of Nine Inch Nails, this game promises to revolutionize psychological horror. You control Katya on a psychedelic journey through the Claustropost, a devastated city where forced insomnia is the only way to survive. Gameplay mixes atmospheric exploration, complex puzzles, and stealth while facing violent cultists and transcendental forces. What impresses most is the aesthetic. FMV sequences combined with hypnotic visuals that blur reality and imagination. The game explores trauma, grief, and forgotten memories in a visceral way, creating that suffocating atmosphere that few titles achieve. For fans of narrative horror with an experimental edge, Sleep Awake definitely deserves to be on your radar. Displacement. This could be the definitive evolution of psychological survival horror. Developed by Obelisk Studio, the game puts you in the role of a psychologist lost in a polar station where the entire crew has mysteriously gone mad. The breakout here is brutal. As your sanity collapses, you literally transform. You start fleeing as a victim and end up hunting as a bloodthirsty predator. That mechanic changes everything. New abilities, different gameplay, and real choices between embracing the chaos or fighting for your humanity. Combat is visceral, with 20 distinct melee weapons and unique executions for each one. 3 insane cults hunt you, each with their own tactics. But there's more. A dynamic temperature system where you manipulate heat and cold to solve puzzles and freeze enemies mid-combat. No HUD, no interface, just total immersion in a frozen world where reality fragments. For fans of psychological horror who enjoy when madness becomes a gameplay mechanic, this one definitely deserves attention. Mukti, a narrative thriller that uses the corridors of an Indian museum to confront you with one of the hardest realities in the world, human trafficking. Developed by Underdog Studio with support from PlayStation, this first-person game isn't here to be just entertainment, and the premise is bold. You explore labyrinthian environments, uncovering hidden narratives and real stories of victims and survivors. Every interaction is designed to awaken empathy and provoke genuine reflection about this global problem we prefer not to face. What impresses is the approach. Mukti blends cinematic elements with immersive gameplay based on meticulous historical research. The trade press is already paying attention. Variety and Vice highlighted how the game places India at the forefront of narrative games. At launch, it will be available for PS5 and PC. It's the kind of title that promises to go beyond fun, an experience that disturbs in the best way. I Am Ripper. This throws you into the shoes of a forensic investigator during the grim 1980s in a British port city ravaged by economic decay and hunted by a relentless serial killer. The big highlight here is the tactile gameplay the studio has been perfecting since their previous works. Prepare for extremely detailed interactions. But the game goes beyond traditional forensic investigation. Your choices truly matter, altering timelines and leading to multiple distinct endings. Each decision can save lives or condemn innocence. The award-winning narrative is told through multiple perspectives, a strong hallmark of the developer, known for world-building and high-quality performances. If you enjoy British thrillers and dense investigations, this one definitely deserves to be on your radar. Out Fishing. A solo developer is making something different, a psychological horror game that turns fishing into the central survival mechanic. The game puts you at an abandoned lake where you fish during the day, sell your catches, and upgrade equipment. But when the sun goes down, things get truly sinister. The forest comes alive with creatures that emerge from the water and hide in the mist, turning your comfort zone into a living nightmare. The day-night cycle isn't just cosmetic, it directly affects gameplay and the dangers you face. With clear inspirations from Alan Wake and Silent Hill, the game delivers that oppressive atmosphere as you unravel a mysterious disappearance through clues scattered across the environment. The brilliance lies in how the fishing mechanics intertwine with the horror, creating a unique experience where managing resources and building your camp becomes a matter of survival when reality starts to warp. Scary Cargo. This could be the most disturbing cooperative survival horror of the coming years. Imagine you and your friends delivering cargo in cursed zones, when suddenly a teammate dies. So far, so normal, right? The problem is they come back, but not as human. The game turns you into a monster that retains all memories, knows the routes, and even perfectly imitates the dead player's voice. Your former friends won't know whether to trust you until it's too late. Paranoia runs wild with proximity voice chat and unique monster mechanics. Some paralyze with a stare, others attack when you turn your back. Developed by Nihat Özdemir for up to 4 players, each match is unpredictable chaos, where the real threat might be right beside you pretending to be an ally. Direct combat or strategic escape, the choice is yours. But one thing is certain, here, trust is a deadly luxury. And to close the list, Blight Survival. This game shares the same concept as Scary Cargo I just presented, an extraction game with 3 friends, but set in a plague-ravaged medieval era. Here you and 3 companions face both desperate humans and monsters spawned by the Blight, a disease that transforms war corpses into hideous creatures. The standout is the mix of roguelite and extraction. On each mission, you must choose whether to flee with what you've taken or risk everything by pushing deeper. The directional combat system promises to be accessible while offering room for mastery. Somewhat reminiscent of what we saw in Chivalry, weapon and talent customization looks robust, and the world carries that grim atmosphere of a kingdom in collapse. This game drew attention for its bold proposal to blend genres that don't normally mix. For fans of cooperative challenge and heavy atmosphere, it's definitely a title to keep an eye on. So, how many games from the list have already made it onto your wish list? I bet several. 2026 is not messing around with survival horror fans. It's a promising year for the genre. What impresses me most is the variety. No matter what kind of horror draws you, psychological, cosmic, atmospheric, visceral, there's something waiting for you. Now tell me in the comments, which of these games made you the most hyped? Is there any survival horror that should have been on this list? And most importantly, are you brave enough to face all 22 of these titles? If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss any 2026 releases. Share it with that friend who also loves having nightmares while they play. See you in the next video, and remember, keep the lights on, or don't.